You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, DJ Envy is in Africa, and we got the world's most dangerous heavyweight boxing champion in here right now, my man Deontay Wilder. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, bro? You doing all right?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
I went to your last fight against Ortiz.
Yeah.
And I was rooting for you, so it was a very shaky situation in the crowd for a moment because everybody thought you was about to lose it, but then you came back and won. So congratulations.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I mean, it was a great fight. I definitely needed a defining win on my record. Mm-hmm. I've always had the short ends of the stick when it comes to boxing. I've called everybody. I hold the best of the best. I've called them out, and it's always seemed like I'm always getting to run around, somebody ducking me, or they using PEDs to go around me. So, with Ortiz, it was like a big risk, small reward. But it was good for boxing. It was good for the heavyweight division, and I needed it. So, it was an epic fight, and in that fight, I showed what a true champion was.
Absolutely.
And what it takes to be a true champion, the whole definition of it.
Were you ever scared to fight Ortiz, though? Because he did get test positive for, I think, PEDs a couple times? Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. Maybe could have been in them this time, too. So did you ever have any, speculation? I don't know.
To be honest, it was in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But, when you're preparing for a fight, you really don't want to think about too much because you already got a lot of stuff going on anyway. But it was in the back of my mind only for the fact that, he said he was on blood pressure pills, and he only got on blood pressure pills because he was fighting me. It seems like, because we never heard of it before. But the thing about blood pressure pills, anybody know about it, it also is a masking agent as well too. So you can take something and take blood pressure pills, and the blood pressure pills can cover whatever you take it.
Oh.
So it's like covered it. So you just never know, But I gave him the benefit of the doubt, when it came to that fight. I hired Bada. They did a great job with that. They test him, continuously throughout the training camp, and it came out to be what it was.
What advice would you give Triple G? Because he's fighting Canelo, and Canelo recently tested positive. Would you move forward with the fight if you was Triple G?
I mean, because I have a warrior mentality and the mindset, I'll still fight. Just to prove that no matter what you do, you're not going to defeat me. No
matter what drugs you take,
no matter what,
potentially. Mm-hmm.
Most definitely, no matter what, because I feel like I'm the best. I believe that. I strongly believe that. I'm very confident in what I do and what I say, and I try to prove to the world every bit of the word that I say I'm going to do, no matter what you take. With Ortiz, I was calling this man versus machine because of his past abusing, PEDs and stuff like that. So, but everybody's different. When it's in the boxing game, when you're taking drugs and when you finna put some hands on somebody, you gotta remember the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. And then a lot of guys get timid at that, because they feel like it'll make them do other things, which it does. It depends on what they take, but it don't matter to me. I just want to get in there and fight and show the world that I'm the best in the world.
I feel like there was a couple of times you were supposed to come up here before, right? And it got rescheduled. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to get rescheduled again, like you weren't supposed to be in town.
Yeah, some came because I was getting ready to head to London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're supposed to be a ringside analyst at the Parker Joshua fight this weekend.
Correct.
But you pulled out because they won't let you face off with the winner.
Yeah, exactly. I had to deal with Sky Sports. They wanted me to come over and commentate for them. Mm-hmm. And I told them I'd come on one condition. And the terms was I get in the ring with Joshua at the end of the night.
If he wins. Because I picked Parker.
Right, if he wins. Mm-hmm. And they said it was cool. They said it was all right. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll be over there. Then, a couple of days later, I get a phone call from my manager. He was like saying that ain't going to be able to happen because Joshua talking about upping the security on me. I even heard about restraining orders and stuff, saying he don't want to hype the fight, for what. And, and his promoter, he always manipulating the fans over there, always telling them different stories so they can believe, because they don't want to fight me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They don't want to fight me at all. Joshua has a fear of losing, and they know I'm the most dangerous man in this game, period. And, and it just came about so many different situations. Hearn's always talking about, I need to raise the profile, I need to hype this fight a little bit more, but what better way to hype a fight like this when you got 70,000 people's there in the crowd and you got millions watching? this is free advertisement. This is free promotion. You know, people would love to see two kings, one from America, one from the UK, facing each other off, man to man, looking each other in the eye. And I'm saying, I want to knock you out. What better, you know? But I didn't understand it. You know, at this point, it's becoming very childish for me.
Right.
You know, and
because then they make it seem like you were scared to show up.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it makes it seem like I'm scared. Like, you're like, you know, Wilder's not coming. Why you just not away? He don't want to fight. He must don't want to, you know. It's just, it's stalling tactics, you know, to put out there to say, I don't want everybody to know I want it. You know, I'm a fighter.
Joshua said he wants you to have beat Floyd's record of 50-0 before you guys fight.
That's what
he said that?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I'm about to say what? I was like, that's new to me too. I was like, that's some bitch shit right there.
hey, man. At this point right here, I mean, anything believable because the story is changing each and every day. They're not on the same accord with his promoter and him. They say. Joshua say one thing, his promoter says another.
Eddie Hearn's his promoter, right?
Eddie Hearns is his promoter.
But ain't he trying to sign you now? I heard something like that.
Yeah, he trying to sign me as well too. You know that he trying to do the Don King thing when I fought Stavern.
Oh, so that could be leverage. Like, okay, you want this fight? Well, if you sign to me, then you can have this fight.
Right, because that get him the right to promote me now, and he can still make money.
Are you considering it?
Nah, not at all. No, I got a group. I got a nice group of men that surround me now. We got a lot of plans. I know boxing is not as huge up in the UK, as it is in America. But, we got a lot of plans of coming back. I got a vision. I got a goal of bringing boxing at its all-time best back to boxing, especially in the heavyweight division. And I'm on a goal. I'm on a mission to do so. So, we can let them keep their people and do their thing, and we're going to do our thing over here.
You said it's not as big in the UK, but he be having like 70,000, 90,000 people at his fights.
They love it. No, the boxing is not. I mean, I'm sorry. It's big in the UK. It's not as big in America as it is in the UK. I'm sorry about that because they love it. When they go to fights, they say, to me they say it was described as you going to church, you're worshiping, you're praising, and they have fun. They it's nothing like here going to a fight. It's like it's crazy. Which I love the fans over there. I love to be able to. In a boxing atmosphere around fans and stuff like that, it makes it that much more exciting.
What would be the benefit of signing to Eddie Hearn, if any?
People always say something about the money part. Where being over there, being amongst the crowd and different things like that. Because I only feel like he can go as far as the UK. He's still trying to cross over here in America, but he's figuring out that crossing over here in America. It's different. It's different here than over there. He's realizing that, and that's the only thing I can think of. I think he just want me as a safe haven because he know I'm gonna beat Joshua. I've stated many times. I can't wait for that fight.
So who will be your next fight if that can't happen?
We're looking now. We got a couple of guys, that we can fight. Got guys calling me out. They got this guy Hearns. What Hearns want to do? He want me to fight his other contender guy. He's
the white
guy, Dylan White guy. And we're interested in Joshua. I told him I don't have no problem fighting Dylan White. I would love to share a ring with Dylan White.
And you feel like that's an easy one?
It's easy. They're like, oh, you're gonna make this much. I'm building my legacy. I love the legacy. I feel like the fame and the money, that's part of it. That's part of the sport. It comes with it. And my goal is to unify the division, be the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. Nobody ain't done it in years since Lennox Lewis, I think, and that's my mission. That's my goal ultimately. And Dylan White is like, I feel that Hearns trying to distract people from me and Joshua. He's trying to put Dylan White as a blocker, for that. Which, like I said, I don't have no problem fighting Dylan White, but I have requirements with that. Let Dylan White fight Luis Ortiz. And if he beat him, he got me automatically. Or put Joshua on the end of the contract.
Right, so you fight Dylan White, and then it's guaranteed that you get to fight Joshua.
It's and
I don't think she'd have to do that. I feel like you've earned your right to fight Anthony Joshua. Like I don't feel like you have to fight nobody else before you get to Joshua.
Right, but when when they having all the cards over there in their hands, then you know how it is. And then, like I said, I'm the most dangerous man that's in boxing, period.
It's probably a way to get White more notoriety also, to put that fight on and make more money and then have that fight after it. It just seems like it's extending the money for him.
And I also think he using White as like a measuring stick for me. You know, White fought Joshua before, and he buzzed them and all that and stuff like that. And they trying to hype this instead of, you know, me and Joshua fight. That's what everybody wants to see. That's what the world wants to see. That's what I want, so I can prove to the world that I am the best, that I know I am. You know, but you know, this blockish thing, it's a lot of stuff going on. I think it's a lot of pettiness and it's a lot of, you know, a lot of childish stuff going on. But
who would be the A side and who would be the A fighter and B fighter in that Joshua Wilder fight if it happens?
Well, he would be the A. He would definitely be the A. But you know, when you make it fight, I don't care about A side or B side. I want to fight. You know what I mean? Like I told, whatever they talk about splits, and they try to say so many different things to not make this fight here. They talking about splits. I told them, yo, you can have 90% of the money. You know what I'm saying? I'll take 10. Let's make the fight. But as long as you take that in a rematch, you know, we can flip it either way they want to do it. Everybody gonna make some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready to fight.
Do you think about beating Floyd's record?
I never thought about I never thought about beating anyone's record. I never thought about knocking everybody out, having a knockout streak like I have. I never thought about it. The only thing I got into this sport was to be the undisputed, you know, unified heavyweight champion of the world. You know, it's definitely heavyweight champion of the world. Once I became the champion of the world, of course my expectations became higher. You know, I wanted more. My desires became more. So I say, if I'm in the sport, let's go higher. You know, and this is where I am now. But at this point in time in my career, I'm close. I'm 40-0 with 39 KOs. Every man that has stepped in the ring with me, I've knocked out in great fashion. You know what I mean? So at this point now, it's like it's sounding good to break Floyd. I mean, I'm there. I'm really there. That 11 fights away. You know, that's nothing. And
it's a lot in the heavyweight division, though.
Well, you know,
I don't even think there's that many fighters left, is it?
It's you know, a lot of people ask, is there fighters? I think we got a lot of good fighters in America. They're just the advertisement of them, the promoting of them is
a lot of politics behind it too.
Politics is behind it as well too. You know, that's what you get in boxing. But you know, it's a lot of strong heavyweights out here. Just some of them we just never heard of them yet, or they haven't had that defining win. You know what I mean? For people to this is him or whatever.
Like who?
Well, we got what the list at?
Let's go back to your defining win real quick. I want to go back to your defining win in the 7th round. Did you feel like, damn, I might be going down?
To be honest, this was what was going through my head. And when that 7th round came, I wasn't hurt. I was buzzed. And it's a difference. I think it's a difference between everybody wants it because you wobbly, they feel you hurt. But it's a thing where you buzz. When he hit me, it wasn't the hook that got me. The commentator said it was the hook. You know, he landed the hook, but I tried to bluff it. Like he hit me, but it wasn't good, so I'm trying to bluff it. I'm pulling my jab right in front of him, and I'm leaving myself exposed. You know, but I'm too close. But the right hand that came down, that's when everything's you know what I'm saying? So
it looked like you was out on your feet for a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I was buzzed.
Okay.
So, you know, when you're buzzed, you know, it's just like everything's like you say, you hear that, you know, everything going around. But the thing about it, with that situation, like I told people, I fought him like 100 times, even before we fought. Because when I'm fighting, even in everyday life, I do meditation and I visualize. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, when I have a fight, I'm always meditating and visualizing what I want to do in the ring from the time I come from the dressing room to the time I enter into the ring to the end of the fight.
That's dope.
You know? Yeah, and it's strong. We use that in the amateurs. I mean, in the Olympics. That's when I was introduced to it. So when that came about right there, I was coaching myself through the whole way. I'm like, all right, you got it. You can do it, you know. All right, punch him here, punch him there. I know the rep. I knew if I didn't throw no punches or I did no movement or no activity,
the ref would stop it.
that I'm forcing the ref to stop
Yeah.
it. You know, so that's why I try to do as much as possible. Grab him, hit him a little bit, do what I can to withstand the storm, because Ortiz is the most skillful heavyweight in the division, period. You know, then he come from the Cuban background, and he's southpaw as well too, you know. So with that being said, I had to do a lot of things to really just maneuver myself, but I was coaching myself the whole way through. Even when the bell sound, as you can see, I went straight to my corner in a straight line, and you know, I was telling him, you got to do better than that. Then I used psychology on him as well too. I reversed it because really I just came with stay with. I used psychology on him because I kept answering the bell every round before he kept getting up. And even when he buzzed me, I did the same thing, because in boxing, you go off the mannerism of your fighter. You looking at him, you see a couple of weaknesses, and you started to figure them out. They started to get slow sometimes. Sometimes certain things started to open because it started getting later in rounds. And I knew that if I didn't get up, or if I showed any kind of tiredness or weakness, that would give him the motivation. If he tired and he see me hurt like that, it's like you suck the energy out of your opponent. It's like you just get this second win or something, because you know that you gotta put the pressure on it, or it could be over real quick. We can be over real quick if you put the pressure. And I got up, I was waiting on him. I'm like, yo, you still gotta do better than that.
Yeah.
You know, so it started to break him down even more, because he felt like he threw everything in the kitchen sink at me, which he did, and I took everything. You know, and
even in that 10th round, it seemed like he popped you, but then you backed up off the ropes. But it's just like you took the freaking little herb from Black Panther and just came back to life.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm a true champion. You know, and like I said, I'm the whole definition of it. And it's gonna take a lot to break my heart, to break my will. You know, the reason why I'm in it, I do it for my family. You know, it's nobody's beating me. I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound cocky, you know, because I know I talk a lot of stuff and I come off that sometimes with people. But this is how I feel.
You
This is
never
in my
feel
heart.
like that. You
know
should
what I'm
never
saying?
feel like somebody could beat you.
Exactly. You know, this is in my heart, because this is a dangerous sport. We risk our lives.
Right.
You know, each and every time we in there. But I really feel no man is going to be able to beat me. I'm the baddest man on the planet.
I believe that. I'm picking Parker over Joshua this weekend. So I don't even know if we're going to get a Wilder Joshua fight. I heard you picking Parker too. Why is that?
You know, I'm going with Parker now. I'm favoring
Now you
Parker.
are, but before you were going with Joshua.
You know, for the
Because-
simple fact we want that fight.
You want to fight Joshua. Yeah.
It'll be obvious to I want you to win. You know, but I'm favoring.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm a favor him in this fight. He looked very confident in what he doing. You know, when I look at like press conferences, when I look at weigh-ins, when I look at guys square up together, most people look at it as what it is. You know, the weigh-in, or they facing off, want to see. You know, for me, I'm looking at the body language. I'm looking at when they look at each other. Because when I'm looking at you, I'm trying to look into your soul. I'm looking into your eyes. I'm letting you know that, like, this you in it for a real fight. I'm coming to really hurt you. So certain signs you can see from a fighter, whether it is their body language, whether they doing something. Most time when people say they look away or they blink or something, sometimes that can be a sign of being nervous and stuff like that. And, you know, you can exploit that and take advantage of that. But with Parker, he seems like he's ready.
Yeah.
If he have the same confidence that he have now going into the fight, it's going to be a hell of a
What's your prediction then? What round?
Whatever happens, it's going to happen in the later rounds. You know, I think I'm going to ease off the predicting, you know, fighters now. And I'm going to tell you why, because I got my heart broken.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was well invested in the Lomachenko and Rigondeaux fight. You know, I go to Miami time and I go to the gym where Rigondeaux is, and I'm like, man, Rigondeaux gonna win. He gonna beat him. He gonna do this and that, you know. And I'm just putting it out there, you know, which I barely ever do. Because I know that anything can happen in a fight. And man, when that dude got in that fight, although he was so skillful, I knew what he could do. The world knew what he can do. It seemed like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You seen the fight?
I don't think I saw the Lomachenko fight.
What happened?
The Cuban, he got his ass beat. He got his ass beat, man. It was crazy. Like, I don't even think that's a proper word. It was worse than that.
We got to look at that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Any given fight night, though, you never know.
It was crazy, but you know he ended up losing, and that's why you can never tell who's gonna win and who's not because you don't know what's in these.
But you can still make your own prediction. And
you can still make
based off what you know.
Yeah, but it's just I look so deeper than just I think you're gonna win because this and this because I am a fighter.
Right.
I know what I think and I know how I feel when I go and fight. So I try to take a little bit away from there and use these fights. I know the inside of it, and I know sometimes you can look good in training. You can look good in the pre-workout, but when it's time to fight, when it's time to be under those cameras, those lights, and all those people around, a lot of things change in your head. A lot of guys get very nervous. A lot of guys sometimes it's just tough for some of them just to walk out because they know. It's like walking the Green Mile. You know what I mean? Something to happen.
It looks exciting, but when you're actually doing it, it's
crazy. Something to happen. Either it's going to be you or it's going to be him. You know, which one is going to be. So that's the time when you walk in that Green Mile to decide what you're going to do at that given time because you only got a couple more minutes till that bell ring, you know.
You think some fights are rigged?
I think some fights have been rigged before. I think it does exist in the sport. I mean, this is boxing. Anything can happen in boxing, you know.
That could happen in the NBA. It could happen in the NFL.
All right, I'm picking Joshua then.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm picking Joshua then. Because they're not going to mess up that wild Joshua fight.
They ain't messing up that perfect record. But, like I said, anything can happen. Parker can go and knock Joshua out. We know Joshua's been down before.
Yeah.
I don't really go into the camps, the sparring sessions or getting knocked down, because it's so totally different when you're getting ready to fight. But, he's been down before. He's been down in actual fights and stuff like that. So, when you're dealing with heavyweights, some people would say it only take one punch. But the more and more I get into this sport and just really just narrow it down and focus on certain things and meditate about certain things, I'm starting not to believe that.
Right.
I believe it takes a certain type of caliber of person to knock a person out. Just because you're big and your weight says you're 2 plus this and this and you got muscles doesn't mean that you can knock a person out. You know what I mean? It take a certain type of caliber of person to be able to just knock people out like that. Sometimes a person can get fatigued and get tired and their body can get vulnerable and then you hit them at the right perfect time and then they go down. Because I done seen it vice versa. I done seen big guys look big and strong, don't have no pop at all. They just look the part. And then I've seen slimmer guys like myself can crack and just hit somebody. When people look at me, they say, they always, confuse me like basketball or football or something like that. Especially coming up, they never thought I would be a heavyweight fighter because people are so used to seeing like heavyweights being big and muscular and stuff like that. But my body is my body. I'm comfortable in my body. And, I possess something that can't be taught. You know what I mean?
It probably makes you move quicker, too. It would feel like.
I get in so many different angles. I can maneuver around so many different ways. And I'm very, flexible. I can slip in the pocket. And people always talk about wow, but they never point out what I do right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You do yoga and stuff since you meditate?
I used to do a lot of yoga, but I do a lot of stretching exercises and stuff like that, and to make my body more flexible. And I can almost put my legs over my head. Actually,
we don't want to see that. Wow.
A lot of guys wish they could do that.
Yeah. So I think being flexible plays a lot, especially in a combat sport. You can be able to maneuver around different punches, and you can see a various of combinations as well coming to you. Boxing is only mental. It's all mental. Just being able to pick your guy, pick him apart each round, study him each round. Everybody makes mistakes in fights. It's only how you exploit that mistake that he's doing. You can break anybody down. All you gotta do is watch him and study him. For me, it's like calculation for me. I say I'm calculating my guy each and every time. Sometimes I lay off rounds or whatever because I'm getting a guy down. I'm studying him each and every time because it becomes a muscle memory in my head. I'm programming you in my head. So if you do that mistake again, then I'm automatically respond to it, And sometimes it be like that. And that's just how my mind work in there. And the things that I see, a lot of people don't see on the outside.
Yeah.
It's easy. Oh, you got to
Right.
do this. You got to. No, it's not that. Even when you listening to your corner, jab to the head, jab to the body, and come with right hand, you trying to get me knocked the fuck out. That ain't. I see what you see, but it's all about timing as well too. Because with Luis Ortiz, being that he was the most skillful heavyweight in the boxing. If you make a mistake, you can get punished. And that's the thing about softballs as well. If you make a mistake, you will get punished, and vice versa. So it makes it more challenging. Your mind have to think a little bit more. You have to break it down a little bit more, and that's why I love this sport so much.
What do you say to people who say you're a great fighter but not a technically sound boxer?
Yeah, my thing is when I look at that, I say some people say I do all the wrong things in boxing, which I can agree. I do all the wrong things in boxing, but the thing about it, I'm a winner. I win. I knock people out. When you got some fighters that do all the right things.
Technically.
And exactly. And still lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's that old saying, if it's not broken, why fix it? No, with me, I'm an unorthodox fighter. I'm very awkward. I'm fast. And I have.
It probably throws people off too, because they anticipate, like when you watch what they're doing, and you can study them and see what they're about to do, and then they can't really tell what you're about to do because you're not following the rules.
Exactly. Not following it. That's perfectly. You've been studying boxing.
I love boxing.
Yeah, nice.
Y'all flirt with each other one more time. Just give each other's numbers.
No, I think he's probably surprised that I know anything about boxing at all.
It's nice to see when women pick up boxing, because most times they the ones like this. I know when my mama used to start coming, she
but that's because you're her
nervous.
son. That's probably different.
But it's other people that be like that as well too. People that I know that comes to the fights and see other fighters as well too. They first be like they can't see it because they say that they don't want to see another person get harmed or hurt. You know what I mean?
But it's
Especially
a technical skill to it. It's not like you're just a street fighter.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you this because you did say, and this is true, a lot of people tell you what you should have done when they watch a match, and they're like, oh, he should have did this. Oh, you messing up. And I see you engage with people on Twitter. Do you ever get really irritated and want to confront somebody when they talk shit to you?
Oh, you ain't seen the video?
That's why I was getting to it.
I gotta show you the video. You ain't see the video? Deontay one of the few people who's gotten a chance to put his hands on one of these internet trolls.
Yeah, that was earlier. I'm much more calmer now. You know what I mean? I'm much more.
Now
calmer.
you just block people, right?
Yeah, just block them, man. Because if it don't apply to me, then I don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
That was phenomenal, though. To be able to confront somebody that was,
Yeah, oh man, that
How
felt
did it
so
feel?
good.
Yeah, okay.
It felt good because it was crazy. Like, I'm like, man, it was crazy. The dude, the reason I went and saw him in the first place is because he went overboard with it.
He's talking about your daughter or something,
Yeah,
right?
he was talking about my daughter, taping her mouth, and I'm a visual type of person. I visualize what people say when they telling the story. I actually try to put myself in there and visualize. So this dude talking about taping my daughter's mouth. So I'm thinking about her got, black tape around her mouth, and she's crying. I remember one time I took her to the doctor, and the doctor had to stick her with needles and stuff. She had multiples of surgery throughout her career, and the doctor had to stick her with needles. I remember her reaching and crying for me, and I couldn't do nothing about it because that's the doctor.
Ooh.
And I remember him saying black tape over her mouth, and something else he said, and he started saying nigger and all this and stuff like that. And when he started talking about my daughter, that was it right there. Nah, I ain't gonna send for you. I'm gonna come and meet you myself. You know what I mean? So I came to California. He didn't think I was gonna come.
I was shocked he showed up.
Yeah, but he didn't went overboard.
Because he probably wanted to film himself showing up and say, "I'm here, he's not here," and do all that.
Yeah. So it'd be bright. So people don't play about their kids
At all.
Main thing, money and their kids.
Word up.
Or anybody's kid. You shouldn't be talking about kids, period.
Yeah, and then my daughter with a special need, that's even more touchy for me. You know what I mean? Even with him, anybody, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you don't play with it when it comes to that. And I'm a real person. I'm a real dude. Like, I get along with everybody. I'm a peaceful person. Like I tell people, until you break that peace. And when you break that peace, I'm a whole nother beast. I'm a different person, which I like being Deontay, because when people see me, I already got some people say a natural intimidating face, and people always think, oh, he gonna slap somebody. They get uncomfortable at times until they just really see me, talking to people and communicating with them and just interacting with them. They're like, man, this dude cool. And then when they talk, they even more like he's cool because I'm a laid back dude. I'm real chill until. Everybody got that breaking point.
That's why everybody applauded you for that, though, because it was well deserved on your part for you to go down there and confront him.
Oh, most definitely. He's still on.
No, he don't.
Yeah,
He still talking.
I be hearing a couple of little things, man. I don't know what people think the dude crazy, man.
Probably is.
Clearly, if you say that, you are crazy.
To be honest with you, the fact he showed up, it lets me know he's a little off.
Yeah, but he didn't think I was coming. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I'm coming all the way from Alabama, so he ain't thinking I'm coming there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told him I'm coming. Most time it ain't most time. When I give you my word on something, that's it. It's just like when I describe in boxing. When I tell a person, I'm gonna knock you out. But most of the time, I go in details about how I'm gonna knock you. Just like I told Ortiz, I'm gonna have you face down, ass up. Many times he was face down.
Don't say that. I understand what you're saying, but they're gonna turn that into a meme. They're gonna take that one little part and they're gonna misconstrue it.
Do you think about life after boxing and what your plans are?
Yeah, I do. My thing is once boxing over with, or probably in the far near. I want to convert to acting. That's my passion.
I can see that.
Yeah, I love acting. I love being silly. I love being goofy, just playing around all the time.
You used to act before? Or?
I never done. I used to always try to get in like the acting things in high school and stuff, but it always was filled. I'm like, but I never got that. We used to do, the farthest I got from there is like church plays and stuff. We used to have church plays, and I used to be all into it. I remember being at home in the mirror, going over my lines. They used to give me all the longest lines out of everyone because I was so in tune with it. And I used to kill it every time. And I always had a passion for it ever since I was young. But I also had that love for sports as well, too. And the sports took over. But now in my career, it's like when I'm going to go so far, because you can't box forever.
Right.
And once that's over with, I just want to cross over. So we're working on some things now.
How did you get into boxing, though? Because you're from Alabama. That's a football state, you know what I mean? And you tall. That could have been basketball. Why boxing?
Well, I got into boxing because of my daughter.
Okay.
And she being 13 now, I had to sit down. I had this one conversation with her because they got this social media thing where kids go on. It's almost like an Instagram.
And they sing.
Kids, they do all types of
it's really
stuff.
cute.
They can video and talk, and she did this video because she's growing up and she's getting older. She's getting into different schools. And she was, she really just feeling, she got this condition and stuff. She was crying, it's going to get worse in high school.
What's the condition?
Spinal bifida.
Okay.
Spinal bifida. And, I had to sit down and tell her, I'm like, babe, you got to look at the things that make you who you are. You got to look at the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for the condition to have, Daddy wouldn't be doing what he doing. So it's a blessing that you had it. So I turned her sorrow, turn her tears into smiles, and because I tear up with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that can make me cry. It's my children. You know what I mean? And I had to show her, like, if it wasn't for you, I remind her all the time, if it wasn't for you, Daddy wouldn't be doing this. I don't know what I'd be doing if it wasn't for her. I quit college and everything for her.
So
did you ever think about football or basketball?
She saved you. You feel like she saved you.
Yeah, she did. She really did. I wasn't no troublemaker or nothing like that. Just being in school having, visions of doing something. I could have probably been playing football or basketball because I was in school, college playing, but I had quit all that for her. And, when you do the right things, sometimes good things follow.
Right.
And for me, it's a blessing for me. And now on here, I remember telling her I'll be the heavyweight champion of the world when she was 1 year old, and here I am.
Do you think heavyweights of the past support the heavyweights now like they should, or just the division period?
Not at all. Not at all, and that's one of the things I always talk about as well too, because especially here in America, in America is everybody want that attention. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be the man. Everybody wants to be the face, but nobody wants to come and help nobody out or promote them or say, hey, this is it. It's crazy that in America, a man is willing to support another man from another country than support their own countryman. And it's crazy because everybody wants to be that man here. And, you know, it is sad, especially the ones that's already been developed, former champions, you know, even champions now, you know. It's just so much hate. Everybody wants to be that main face and stuff like that. And I don't feel like it's enough, especially with the former champions. I don't feel like it's enough for them to come aboard, take somebody on their wing, a few people, and just, you know, just put them out there. Whether you just say, yo, this is the next whatever, or it's coming, you know, where they go, coming to the fights, you know, promoting that, you know, doing it for the fans and stuff like that. And we don't have enough of that nowadays. You know, we have a lot of fighters that have a lot of power and that have a lot of viewership, you know, and got a lot of pull on certain things, but they don't want to pull the trigger. Only for certain fighters, you know what I'm saying? And especially if theirs, of course, that's what you do, but they don't want to do that because they still want to live in the moment. They still want to be relevant. And my thing is with that, if you done the right thing in your career, then you'll never be forgotten. People will always remember the last thing you done. No matter what you've done, they're going to remember. Like my knockouts. I can go 51-0. That's my goal. 51-0 with 49 KOs, and I can fight a next fight, and maybe lose or whatever. People gonna remember that loss more than any of all my knockouts. And I got some hella nice knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
They gonna remember. That's all they gonna remember. And that's the thing about it. Like I tell them, you done it right, then you ain't got nothing to worry about.
And I think nothing makes you more relevant than when you help out the next crop of people coming up too.
Exactly.
I saw Lennox giving you a little help once.
Yeah, that was early in my career. He was trying to show me the Canadian style of throwing the jab. You know, he took a liking to me when we was at Canastota, and just thought it was real cool. You know what I'm saying? Me coming up, meeting Lennox Lewis. You know, you look up to those guys and you listen to those guys automatically because they've been to a place where you're trying to go. Yeah. You know, like I told him, I'm open ears, man, open-minded, open heart to whatever you tell me. I'm taking heed to it, you know what I mean? And I'm going to take it back and I'm going to practice some of the things that I think fits me and my style, you know? Because I looked at him, I'm like, man, he's done what I want to do right now. Like I told him, I'm coming for that undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You know, no one has done what I've done as far as my record. You know, so I'm in my own lane at that point with the record and knocking people out, but I want more. I want to achieve more. I want to achieve greatness. You're looking at a future icon. You know, I speak all things in existence and let it come to pass. Everything I say, it comes to pass because my words are powerful. You know, when you speak it out, like I said, speak it, believe it, receive it. Right. And I really believe in that.
You read The Secret before, man.
I done read that book before. Most definitely.
Now, I saw, because even Mike Tyson, I only heard him mention you like maybe once or twice. And it was like recently when he was like, they asked him if you could beat him in his prime or something like that. TMZ Sports did.
Me and Mike go way back, though.
Really?
Yeah, me and Mike go back to, you know, Mike used to hate on me from the beginning, man.
Really?
And you know, I love Mike. I don't have nothing against Mike. Mike, I feel, was one of the best, although every time he fought the top guy, he lost, you know. But you got to respect Mike because of what he done and how he was so exciting during that time, especially in his prime, how he'll just deteriorate a guy, just be all over him and stuff. You didn't see that during that time. He was like a shark out of the waters on fighters. But, you know, when I came along, I'm doing the same thing. I'm knocking guys out and stuff. And that was the similarity goes to knocking the guys out. And if you go even farther deeper in the opponent stuff, if you know how to match them up, you know, you'll see his percentage ain't that much higher than what I was doing. But it was just a simple fact that I was doing the same thing he was doing and coming. And now I didn't surpass as far as knocking people out. You know, I didn't surpass everybody. But, you know, Mike made a comment. He said that anybody can knock somebody out, even my 3-year-old son. He said either 3-year-old or 12-year-old son, one of the two. And I'm like, I looked at that, I was like, wow, you know, so now you comparing me to a child. And now you saying a child can do what I train so hard, I work my ass off in the gym. A child can do what I do. You know what I mean? I just took that as like some envying type of stuff. And I'm like, nah, this Mike though. Like, why would you say something like that? Like you did your thing. You supposed to be boosting me up. You supposed to be praising me. You know, you don't have to go overboard with it, but like give me some type of attention that boosts. Yeah, we got another American. I would have never told another guy that, especially that's coming into the sport, because I was still young coming into it. I was still learning. I've always had to learn on the way up. Always, you know. And if anything, it'd be like, you know, he's still green. He still need a little work, but this guy gonna be this. And just like Evander Holyfield, I met Holyfield in Canastota. We had a duel against Dominican Republic, and we was in Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I ended up knocking the dude out, you know. And Holyfield was like, I don't know what he's gonna do in the Olympics, but I'm telling y'all guys right now, this is the next heavyweight champion of the world. Right. You know what I mean? And that I appreciated that. That stuck with me all the way to now. You know what I mean? And he still is doing the same thing. He never changed up. And that's the thing that you need, you know, as a younger fighter coming up, needing that motivation, that encouragement from those that already have done it before.
Because that must have been disappointing to hear Mike Tyson say something like that.
Yeah, it really was. You know, I was like, all right, Mike.
Have you ever spoke?
I done seen him a couple times at fights and stuff like that.
You feel the unwelcome energy, like?
Well, I used to speak to him before then, but after that, you know, he'll be in the ring. But I'm focused though. When I'm in the ring, like I don't mean no disrespect if I look a certain way in the ring, or you know, everybody want to dap up, but your mindset is totally somewhere else. You finna get ready to go to war. You know.
Oh, I saw when you was ignoring Denzel Washington. I was like, oh, he really fought. Denzel was back there trying to say what's up. You wasn't even paying him no attention.
Yeah, it ain't no disrespect. It just I'm finna put my life on the line. And I love myself, and I love my children. Mm-hmm. You know, when Daddy get in the ring, Daddy coming back home.
Right.
No matter what, you know. And that's just how I feel. That's what I take to the ring. And, you know, it don't be no disrespect to nobody, but they got to understand, like, this. I'm in my zone right now.
Do you think you have to strike a balance between having a fight that's exciting and winning? Because sometimes people feel like when you win a fight, it's not in the most exciting way.
Right.
Do you think about that?
I don't. Well, you know, I wouldn't say, only to a certain extent, I would say. I wouldn't say I don't think about it, because that'll be a lie, but only to a certain extent. Because when you fighting, you want the best performance of your life. You want the outcome to be the best. You know, you always when you come out, you always want to be better than you was the last time. Of course, like I said, people only remember you the last thing you done. And of course, I think about it, you know, leading up to the fight. But when it's time to fight, when it's time to get in that ring,
just gotta win.
Yeah, you just gotta win. That's it. A lot of people worry about, oh, he losing rounds and this. I don't worry about the rounds, because I possess something that nobody has, and that's just what we call the eraser. I got ultimate power. My power is so crazy that I don't even know the length of it. I don't know the measurement of my power. I'm so dangerous. Like, I can only imagine me getting into a fight in the streets. It'll be crazy. You know, if I'm putting on 10-ounce gloves and hitting guys, hitting them like I did Spuka when I came here in Brooklyn and falling, and he was dead 3 to 5 seconds. Just imagine, like, that's why I don't condone in violence outside the ring.
Well,
I don't want to see
fight
it.
in the street.
Well, yes, I can.
I thought you can.
I thought hands were registered.
It's just like, I got, you know, it's registered, but it's just like having a pistol permit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If I'm in harm, or harm come my way and he threaten me or whatever, I have the right. You know, I'm not. That's just like saying that I'm gonna let somebody punch me in my face and not do nothing about it. You know what I mean? The only thing about that is, because a lot of people think that a fighter can't do nothing, but that's not true. The only thing he can't do, he can't come up and start it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't come up and just pick with you and start hitting you. You know what I mean? But
I would hope you wouldn't.
Nah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But if someone bring harms my way, if they, you know, in that, you know what I'm talking about, in that type of way, then I have the right to defend myself. You know what I mean? And most fighters, we're cool. We're calm. We like to play around. A lot of people think because our occupation is fighting, even with it, that's why it's hard for us to get endorsements. Because they think that we're at any given time that we're gonna start fighting somebody, something like that, or doing drugs or partying. But look at anybody else in any sport or whatever. You know, I always think football players are worse than fighters. You know what I mean? Because they get it in.
Yeah, and they do it more frequently, too.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot more of them, so
that's true.
The percentages.
What about sympathy for the opponent? Because, like, you know you want to get home to your kids.
Yeah.
You got to go in there and do your business. Like, you ever
like, I don't want to kill
pull
somebody
back
for
a little bit?
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record. I want one.
God damn.
You don't.
I want one. I want one. I really do. Like,
You want to
but
be Ivan Drago?
That's the
If he dies, he dies.
yeah. But that's the bronze bomber. Like, he want one. You know what I mean? I always tell people, like, when I'm in the ring, like, I am the bronze bomber. Like, and with him, like it's so crazy. Cause when I describe it, like, I be having moments. Like it's so crazy. Like, when people, it's crazy because when I'm in the bronze bomber, like, I don't really care. Like, my everything about me changes. Like, what I'm thinking, I don't get nervous. I don't get scared. I don't get butterflies. I don't have no feelings towards the man I'm finna fight.
Is that why you wear the mask? Cause it's like a character kind of?
The mask chose me. As people, some people say I should get rid of it. I'm thinking about just putting it to rest. I don't know. When I get to a certain point, I may or may not, but I enjoy the mask. The mask is powerful itself too, But the mask definitely, reveals something. Like, this is him. I'm revealing myself. This is the bronze bomber. You know what I'm saying? Deontay is no more here, and that's what the mask really indicating. So when I take it off, it ain't that dude that that nice guy that like to laugh and goof around or whatever. Like, I'll come here for one thing, and that's to knock you out and go back home. But when they're dealing with another opponent, although he may have family and children and stuff like that, when I'm in that state of mind, like, I really don't care about that. I'm just be honest.
I can't even think about it.
I don't care about it because he's trying to do the same thing to me. I'm trying to do to him. So you can only have so much feeling towards that man in there. But when I do what I'm supposed to do or what I have to do, then I come back into Deontay Wilder. That's when I'm able to show sportsmanship, to go over, make sure he's okay, hug him or whatever. Because it's not personal for me in the ring. And I don't want none of these fighters to think it's personal because it may end that way. We may get into altercations and talking stuff. That's part of boxing. That's part of the selling it. But during the selling it, the thing about me, I don't fake it. I can't fake nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm acting and stuff. But this is not no game. This is real life for me.
Right.
So I feel that way. But if I definitely, the power that I have, man, it's easy to be able to do so. I thought I had one time, like I said, with Spuka, because he wasn't breathing when he hit the campus. And somebody gonna go. Somebody gonna go.
So when Spuka was on the canvas in your mind, you was like, goals.
Man,
almost got him.
I was like, yeah.
But afterwards, you probably would have been like.
Afterwards, I done had this discussion with with another media. Some more media, and they always ask me about that, and I always tell them the same. Like, I really feel that way. I want that on my record. You know what I mean? Because when I'm in this state of mind, like, I ain't myself. But when I come to me, who I am now, like the loving father that I am, I love my kids. You know what I mean? And I know that next man love his kids as well too, and want to go home too. And me being Deontay, if I do take a life in the ring, Deontay would feel bad. I'm gonna feel bad as the man that I am.
Right.
But I also understand that we signed up for this. We signed that contract.
Yeah, y'all signed like a waiver too, right?
Yeah, we signed everything. You know what I mean?
So y'all can get life insurance or nothing.
Yeah,
but
you get your
expensive?
own. Promoters must have insurance for you, but that's you better get your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which we use that, but I got my own as well too, just in case something happens to me, because I never know. You just never know. And some fighters don't have it though. Some fighters, that's why I don't like hearing fighters saying, this is all I could do, this is all I know. This is all I know. This is all you know, then you're gonna be messed up, bro. Just imagine if you get in the ring and you get hurt and you can't perform or you can't maintain an everyday lifestyle, or you start forgetting things, what are you gonna do?
Right up.
What's your next step? And when you go to Boxing Hall of Fame, you always see former champions that have done great things throughout their career, like some of the best. But you see them, you be like, dang.
Can't even talk.
Can't talk.
Yeah.
Some of them, look bad, dress bad. It's just like they don't have, not saying that your clothes define you, like India Arie, you know what I mean? Your clothes don't define her, the price of the clothes. But you know what I mean? When you go into events like that where people are going to be around and stuff like that,
yeah,
you know, when you see that. And that's why I like going back to the Boxing Hall of Fame. It's a huge reminder of me. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge reminder to myself that you don't want to, you can't be like that at the end of your career. When it's over, said and done, you want people to remember you as somebody being great, but you also want to have something to show for. You know what I mean? It's nothing like being the best in the world. Like I said, being the undisputed, the undefeated, the baddest man on the planet. And then 20 years from now, 10, 20 years, you don't have nothing to show for but what you've done in your name. Like, that ain't cute to me. You know what I'm saying? I
got 2 more questions. If Joshua does win, will you wait to fight him? Or if he doesn't want to fight now, will you take another fight, or will you just wait until he's ready?
If he don't want to fight me now, then yeah, we gonna do our thing in America. Okay. You know, we got big plans of doing a lot of things in America. It's about that time, and then we're not worried about that. I got, you know, my advisor Al Heyman. You know, Al, you know, set 4 of the most biggest purse fight. Forget that, just the biggest fights in boxing. You know, so he behind all that. So I'm with the right. I got the right people behind me. I got a smart team behind me. I got a lot of positive group of men that surrounds me each and every day, that love me, genuinely love me. You know what I mean? So I'm in good hands. You know, it takes time. It took a long time to get to this point where we are right now. And it's only going to get better, man. We're going to keep pushing and we're going to keep doing what we got to do. You know, the name is definitely ringing now. The wave has changed around here, you know, and it's looking good. I can't wait. So if he don't fight me, then we're just going to do our thing. We're going to clean up the division. Like I said, I'm looking for to get that 51 with 49 KO record, and we'll see. But I don't think it's going to be a long draw out. They're going to be like Floyd and Manny with the 5 years joint, because people's going to, like I said, they're going to smoke him out.
Would you still fight him if he loses? Would you still?
Of course. I mean, of course. You know, this is boxing, and I'm going to be around for a long time, so I'm going to need some people to beat up, you know.
Yeah, you fight Parker, then you go fight Joshua.
Yeah.
You 40-0, 39 KOs. Do you think you need an Anthony Joshua fight?
Not at all.
I don't think so.
I don't need Anthony. You know, nor do he need me. But if we're trying to accomplish something, or maybe, well, because he wanted the same thing, but I wanted more than him, and that's to unify the division. And if we go between the lines of that, then we need each other. But as far as a career, making a living, living our life, we don't need each other because we're doing fine without each other right now. You know what I mean? I'm happy in my life. You know, he's happy in his life. But I want to unify. He got something I want, and I got something he wants. And one day it got to happen. Or give up the belts. Right. And I can accept if you scared. That's why I tell him he need to take that fuck fear patch off his shorts, because that don't apply to him. And if he's scared, then just say it. Just say, I don't want to fight right now at this time. That's why I respect Keith Thurman, because he came out and said that he's just not ready to fight, you know what I mean? And you got to respect guys like that. That's all I want them to say. I'm not ready. We're going to keep going until we're ready, you know, and stop making up excuses like I don't want to fight, because it's clearly that I want to fight, you know. Why would I be running? Like I said, I possess something that you can't teach, and that's all the way around. Not even just the power, just the style in general. You know, you can't, like, it's not textbook, so you can't. Like Holyfield said, I'm the first of my kind. There's nobody like me. He's the first of his kind. I done brought a new style to the heavyweight division, and, you know, it's going to be around for a long time. And that's how it's going to be. But the fight will happen. You will have one champion, one face, one name. So and you go by the name of Deontay Wilder.
I believe that. Where you going to watch the fight this Saturday? March 31st, live on Showtime?
I'm not even sure.
You're not going?
I'm not sure. You know, it all depends on where I be at that moment in time. You know, I got different spots that I live at in different locations. So
probably Miami or something, right?
It'll either probably be Atlanta or California.
Not gonna be in Birmingham?
I don't really be down in as much no more. Not really. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see a lot of
hate.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't never go nowhere. Like I'm a homebody. I love being at home. I love being in peace. You know, I don't even really watch TV, man. I love peace. I love being able to, like I said, meditation is big for me. Love to be able to become one with myself, inner, you know. Just, man, we on a lot of little different stuff, you know.
Why they hate on you in Birmingham? Salute to everybody that listens to us in Birmingham on 104.1 The Beat, but you should be like a hometown
I'm from
hero.
Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And not all of them. I got a lot of love there. I got a lot of love there. It's just the few of them that makes it bad for everybody. It's like that one bad apple. Yeah. It kind of spoils it, because a lot of people look at me like, you know, they talk about how I try to act like I'm Florida. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I got a lot of nice things, and then being in Alabama, I could easily, like, be out flossing, I can be out stunning on people. That is not my character. You know? And a lot, he think this is this, It's just a lot of people that come from the same area that I come from, and I made it, and they still in the same place. But the thing about it, the only reason I come home besides, seeing my kids, and I bring expensive cars, I bring different things, buy houses and stuff, is the point of not to boast, not to brag, but to influence, to inspire, to motivate. And that's what type of person I am. I like to motivate, especially my people. I love my people. I love all people, but especially my people, and especially coming from the west side, a town. This is just motivation to you, just let you know that you can do it. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You come from this small area, and I'm bringing something down that you probably ain't never seen before, especially when I brought I brought a Rose down there, you know what I'm saying? Somebody thought it was a Cadillac. I'm like, nah, so it's crazy. It's crazy, and that's the only thing I do, but they look at it as something else, you know what I mean? People just get jealous of what they can't have right now, and nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work. They want it, but they don't want to work for it. I work my ass out to get
Are your
right.
kids like celebrities in school?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they it's up and down with them. They don't really, my kids is like, they something special, man. They very intelligent, they're well-mannered, they love people as well, too. They don't take a lot of things to head, They love interacting with people, love being around others, and they just go up, they kind-hearted, they like to, even when, like, holidays come around, man, they don't ask me for nothing, really. They got one specific thing that they may want or may saw, and like, Daddy, I want this or whatever, because I teach them, like my father taught us, that we must work for what we want. I'll never spoil my children. I'll provide them with things, but only to a certain extent, because where I came from and how I had to get it, nobody gave me nothing. I had to work for everything. Even now, like, in boxing, it took me a while to just get to just this spot, you know what I mean? Because I would get opportunities, but there'll be small opportunities, and I still had to chip it away to open up an opportunity and make it in there. But it seemed like it's only me. Like, as far as the division going and then being the champ, like, I always had to go through, just like we talking about the Joshua fight. They want me to do all these different things, but I'm like, what have anybody else done to get the opportunity? Right. They talking about coming to America fighting a Gerald Miller, you know who that is? There you go. So why would you come to America and fight a nobody when you got the king right here that's been calling you out, that's been saying he'll knock you out, and can't wait to knock you out? It's gonna be a pleasure. I don't have nothing against Joshua. I told him, shit, when we fight, we gonna party out there.
Unless you kill him. Unless that's your first body.
Unless it be the first body. That's the only way. He was absent that day because you know what happened.
Hey, Deontay Wilder, man. Hey, good to see you, my brother.
So much,
Thank you for coming,
you.
man. Absolutely. Y'all watch the fight this Saturday, March 31st, live on Showtime, 5 p.m. Eastern. Anthony Joshua Parker. One of them people going to be Wilder's next opponent.
Yeah, most definitely. No doubt.
All right, Deontay Wilder, y'all. It's The Breakfast Club.